Good morning. I came out this morning um, to water and go through and harvest and everything, and I came out to this. All right, so let me show you guys. That came all the way out of the bag. All right, so this is one of the I guess you could say this is one of the negatives to growing in grow bags. If you're going to grow tomatoes that are heavy, because I'll show you one more. All right, so if you look right there, you can see that bag is toppling over, right? Okay, so here's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to go and get T-posts and do like I did with these over here. I'll show you what I ended up doing with these over here. All right. So here's this T-post, and if you see that furring strip is tied next to it. So this is going to have to be tied again because it's leaning, but it's leaning because of that tomato plant, because it wasn't leaning until that one landed on top of it. So and we did the same thing with this one and the same thing with those down there. So so just a word of caution: if you're going to grow indeterminate tomatoes that get really heavy, you will need to stake them very well in the grow bags. So you will need to tie it to something that is very stable. So like a permanent structure, or something like a T-post that you can get from the store. I'm going to get busy watering and harvesting and everything. And as you see, there are some tomatoes almost all the way, like about a foot from the top of that 8-foot furring strip. I might have to have my son come out and help me get those. So, anyways, I just thought that I would show you guys that, and I'll be back. Okay, so it's the next day, and what I ended up doing, you can see the bag is now empty. So I ended up, because even though there were lots of green tomatoes on it, I just was done with that plant. So what we did was we took all those green tomatoes off, and we'll probably have fried green tomatoes later today. And so we just took it out, like I said, and we'll have to do something with it. But it was just going to keep doing that, and that's fine. I just didn't want to have to go and buy T-posts right now. We had a water leak under our house and that kind of thing. So I just decided I would just leave it be. And anyway, so we got the other one set up over there by the other cherry tomato, which is way over there. But as you see, it's still looking like a jungle, but a little bit less. So I can actually see a pathway now. And there's grass right there that needs to be pulled up. But it's looking better. So And then I want to show you guys something. Let me take you around this way, because back behind there I can't walk all the way through, so I want to just show you guys something. Okay, so I have my pumpkin plants, right? And I asked you guys, anybody who is watching, I asked before if anybody had any experience with their pumpkins doing this, that kind of thing. And I didn't get any responses. So I really still don't know what's going on with the pumpkin plants, but even though they look awful here and they look awful there and they are bug ridden up through there, they are growing really well up through there. And yes, I see that big weed, but if you see, I'll take you over there, and I'll take you back over there that way in a minute. Also, if you see my cantaloupe vine, I thought was completely done and dead because it looked so bad, but I found this one day. So it's still growing, and it's still this is probably the last one, and I'll probably pull it up after this, but I was really pleasantly surprised. I also thought that my watermelons were done because of the same type of, I just didn't clean it up. But anyways, as you see, there is new growth, and yes, there's a pest. There's new growth on it. There are blossoms on it, and right there is one watermelon, and there is another watermelon. And if I take you back over this way so that I can go all the way back around, let's see. In all of this jungle of a mess, you see there's my pumpkin vines, and look, there's new growth and new fruit being put out over here. And there's another one. Okay? So, and look, I even have visitors pollinating. So they're looking good, really, over here, over this way. Then, if I come back in here with all these weeds, and there's one of my cosmos, which is gorgeous, gorgeous color. I love these cosmos. I think I'm going to grow more next year. But I'm going to try to be a little bit more organized in this area next year. I originally just was going to let it grow and grow wild, but see, look, there's another watermelon. So even though I thought that all that was dead because it looks pretty dead, it's actually still growing. And so let me take you over here and look at one of my sunflowers. I want to show you guys. Alright, so, alright, you guys know that, those of you who've been watching, that I had my septic system, I had to have my septic tank replaced. So that's why all this is a mess over here, and we have to fill in more dirt because, as you see, it's cracking, And over there it's got a hole. And there's Bella. It's a good girl. Hi, sweet. She's just going to hang out right there until I'm done. She wants to be with me. She didn't want to be with the boys. So anyway, so you see this one? This looks really pretty rough. And then, but that's not the stalk to this one. Look at that on the ground. And you see it's laying down and it goes all the way over here. And it's broken here. But then it's got this beautiful blossom right there. That's really low to the ground. It might be the only one that my birds don't get, because if you see my beautiful velvet queens, every single one of them, the birds have plucked most of the feathers from, most of the petals from. I've got 2 more heads growing, so we'll see. Actually, 3 more heads. 4. Looks like 4 more heads growing. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, so yesterday whenever my water, whenever I was having a water break, you know, the water dripping, leaking from my underneath my house, and you know, I was watching, I had looked at those plants and I thought they were dying, and they were really, really bad, and I just thought that they were, you know, they were dead and gone. And just like with these parts of the tomato plants, the suckers that had been broken off, and now look how lush and green and beautiful they are. And I know they need to be staked, but they're growing tomatoes, and the seeds that the birds are putting out, they're like making this even more of a jungle over here, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Anyways, you know, things that we think are broken, things that we think are dead and dying, sometimes we need to just give them a little bit of a chance to come back up and to grow. And so, you know, life lesson from the garden, that, you know, sometimes we feel broken, we feel lost, we feel hopeless, we feel like everything is lost, but it's not. We just need to continue on and push through, and we'll see that beautiful blossom. We'll see ourselves bloom and grow. And so anyways, that's my thought of the day. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and you know, being very courteous to me about my messes in the garden. I really appreciate everybody who watches and comments. If you have a comment, you can feel free to leave it. If you like the video, click like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you want notifications, click the notification bell. And if you think that this is something that, you know, you could share with some of your friends or whoever you think might need, you know, a little bit of words of encouragement, maybe share it with people that you think could use it. Anyways, thanks so much again for spending time with me, and I hope you have a great day. We'll see you later.